Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you will receive alerts when there are new episodes. Go get it.
That's what I tell them. Look, I've been grinding for so long, I wake up and chase my goals. I go out and I go get it. How to code, that's all I know. I don't succeed, then I don't breathe. Success, what does it mean? If I conquer all my goals, then I'm living out my dream. Dig deep, go out and get it. Success Chronicles. Compete until it's finished. Success Chronicles. Go take care of your business. Success Chronicles. It's deeper than just winning. Success Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chip Baker coming to you with another episode, a Hangout and Highlight session with Mr. Glenn Robbins, great educator, great man, doing some awesome stuff. And so I'm just excited to have him on and highlight him today. So first, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the Success Chronicles.
Are you kidding, my friend? I'm excited to be here on the Success Chronicles. It is an awesome achievement just to be here in front of you.
Well, let's go. Well, look, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about, yourself, who you are, and what it is you do.
Yeah, no problem. So I live in the beautiful state of New Jersey. I live and work in the little village or the town of Brigantine, New Jersey. I've been a superintendent there for 4 years. It feels like 14 years because I started right before COVID. And I've been a superintendent, like I said, for 4 years there, an incredible community that I work in the town of Brigantine. Before that, I was a superintendent for 4 years elsewhere, principal for 4 years. I was assistant principal for 5 years, a teacher for 4.5 years, varsity coach. You name it, I've done it in the education field. And recently, I had the privilege of joining up with a great friend of mine, Daniel Bauer, and wrote a new book, and excited to announce that our book is called Calm in the Chaos, Ancient Stoic Wisdom for Successful School Leadership. And I think this is something that's really going to resonate with a lot of leaders today in the education field.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, first, I just want to say thank you so much for your service and all that you've done over the years. I think it's awesome. I don't know, I always say this, I think you can't have enough positivity and goodness, right? You can't get enough of that. And so I think it's awesome, the things that you've done. So congratulations on that. And thank you for your service with that. But then definitely the book, Calm in the Chaos. I love the title. Tell me a little bit about the process, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no problem. So, like I said, I've been in administration for a lot of years now. And, and we've seen
some chaos.
We've seen some chaos, and who has it? But
Right.
who hasn't seen chaos more in the last couple of years, right? Since COVID, people have run out of patience. There is a quick anger. There is a lot of sense of entitlement, and there's whatever happened to the conversations that you and I could mutually agree to disagree, but still get along, and we still be friends. It's either black or white. I don't know what happened to the conversations anymore, and I think that's something we need to come back with. But this came to me beforehand. I was always a history buff. Some of my grandfather would always say, "It's not the problem you have; it's how you handle it," and that always resonated with me. So, thinking about the ancient Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Cato, Cicero, Zeno, I could go on for a while, right? How do they deal with people? How do they deal with emotions? There's a famous quote, you're not dealing with people of logic, you're dealing with people of emotions. And how do you deal with that on a daily basis, especially in a world today that we have? So back in 2019, people have been asking me for a while to write a book, but back in 2019, I went to Daniel Bauer and said, "Hey, I think you're the guy I want to team up with and put this book together." And, you have your leadership aspect of, his podcasting, his books, and who he was as a leader, as a vice principal and principal. And I have all my other attributes as well. How do we come together and share some stories that can really resonate with a leader, whether it's a brand new or a veteran, that he or she can use to continue to grow? And then, right, that was 2019. Then 2020 hits, and we know what happens there, right?
Yes, sir.
And
major chaos.
Right? Major chaos. And then I was on a brand new job at a brand new community in Brigantine. embracing all of this as it's coming my way. And then finally, after going through some times, Danny and I finally reached back out and said, hey, are we finally ready to do this book? And we did. And I'm actually really happy that we did, because the responses that I'm getting from leaders that are reading it, it's really hitting home. It's really resonating with some people. And I think they need it more than ever.
So good. So like what is the breakdown of how it's set up? Like talk to us about like how it's
Okay.
set up so people can have an idea. You don't have to give us too much like what's in it, but just like talk to us about the
Yeah.
setup.
All right. So the setup in itself is broken down and it's relatively easy. It's a quick read, less than
Hmm.
100 pages, but it's intentional that way because people don't have time anymore, right?
Hmm.
So the setup is simple. We do a quick introduction of why we wrote the book, and we claim not to be this mega superstars of Stoicism that Ryan Holiday or Donald Robertson are,
Yeah.
and all those geniuses are. But we talk about wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. And then we add a fifth one, equanimity, into that. You bring in all these four virtues together. But those are the Stoic virtues in itself: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. And how you tie those ancient philosophies into today. So, to give you a quick example, there's courage, right? So, I'll go to the courage section, and it talks about my first journey as a superintendent in the Brigantine School District. I'm there for only a couple weeks. I don't know anybody. And then this weird thing called COVID is coming. And we are going to go closed for 2 weeks, right? We're going to flatten the curve. So what's my job? I don't know anybody there. So I quickly reach out to my security officer, who was a former police captain, and say, hey, how do we build something? And him and I came to an agreement that we need to bring in every major player from our community. We needed a board member, we needed an OEM, we needed fire, police, public works, city manager, mayor, all these individuals to help run the city, and say, all right, what do we do next? And I started the meeting. I said, look, I just checked my ego at the door. My name is Glenn Robbins. I'm the new superintendent that some of you have not met yet. But here's the situation that's coming about. And how are we going to get through this together? And from that point on, we really built something that was magnificent in my mind, because of the fact that we closed in March, we opened back up in October, regular schedule, full schedule. The majority of the states in this country did not do that. So for us, running everything at a normal capacity as could be, 6 feet apart, but that came from a collaboration of everyone working together with no egos, for the betterment of our children and betterment of our community. And that was my courage to stand up and do that. So we also talk about like temperance. We talk about wisdom. As a leader, you're always kind to learn. If we talk about justice, how are you helping out those who do not have a voice and or could have a voice? And then in temperance, we're talking about dealing with a lot of anger. There's one quote that says like, you're going to wake up in the morning and be met with a lot of jealous, envious, hatred people. And yet they don't know the difference between good or bad because they don't know why they were raised that way. And what do you have to do? Greet them with kindness, greet them with optimism. So how do you do that when people are keyboard warriors on social media ripping you apart as a leader? How do you do that when you are the talk at the coffee shop? And how do you do that when there is gossip and so much drama in the schools? You don't get caught up in that. You keep focusing on what's the betterment for the staff, the betterment for the kids, betterment for the community. And it's hard not to take things personally. I equate, when we put it in the book, right? Leadership is like being in a fishbowl at a shooting range. There's nowhere to hide. Everything is coming at you, and you have to embrace it. And the second you do something that sparks somebody else's curiosity for perception, that you look mad at that, or you looked happy, or you laughed at something, they're going to take it the wrong way. So it's being that stoic figure in leading for everyone to watch, but also not just bottling it up. You have to have, some time on your own. And how do you decompress on your own? We talk about that too. And the beauty of this book, I think everybody's going to really appreciate, is we've given at least 10 plus case studies in here, things that happen as a leader. So and then break it down to several different, three questions that you and your team can talk about. So as a leader, whether you have a brand new team or you have a veteran team, it doesn't hurt to always continue to grow together. And something I've seen, Chip, when you see this, you mentor a lot of people, you give a lot of hope and inspiration to people. There are a lot of new educational leaders in this world, and who's leading them? Who's
Mm,
mentoring them? Some of the brightest and the best have left the profession because of all the politics, because of the hatred, because they just couldn't take it anymore. Right? I don't have to explain this to you. You see it every day on the media, right? People leaving the profession for all these different reasons. Just this past week, I had a friend that just recently was put out on administrative leave. Here's the thing. Who's helping them guide through this process? And I think this
yeah.
book, Common to Chaos, does that for them because it gives them some mentors from a couple thousand years ago who were very good at their jobs. So to have that, historical base from successful people and having it from Danny and I, who have been very successful at what we do, and bringing up these conversations, I think helps to only better our profession and education.
So good. I love how you talked about those points. Like those are relative. And I think like just listening to you, I think not just leaders in education, but man, leaders of all um domains or whatever, I
Mm-hmm.
think can use the principles to help them be successful with their leadership.
Yeah, no doubt. Like here's a great quote for any leader, right? No matter It's from Marcus Aurelius, the old Roman emperor. No matter what anyone says or does, my task is to be good. Like gold or emerald or purple repeating itself. No matter what anybody says or does, my task is to be emerald, my color undiminished. So think about that. As a leader, like you mentioned in the very beginning, the optimism, the positivity. We're not talking Pollyanna, as
Yeah.
John Gordon says.
Yep.
We're talking about leading from the right mindset. And no matter what, you're going to get hit as a leader. You have to be embracing the idea that you're going to be misconstrued, you're going to be tarnished, you're going to be laughed at, you're
Hmm.
going to be ridiculed. But yet, that's your job as a leader, is to keep leading forward for the people who are following you and believing you. And for my job, I had the responsibility of leading all these amazing young minds in our school buildings and our staff, in our community. How do we work together as one? And that's the beauty of my job. And yeah, and just to be honest, not everybody is happy with everything, right?
Yeah.
Steve Jobs said that, right? Steve Jobs would say, if you want to make everybody happy, go sell ice cream. Well, I argue that. I argue that because how many times have I gone to the ice cream truck and that guy didn't have what I wanted? So I'm a Jersey guy. I got mad. You can't
I love it.
satisfy everyone. But once again, if people are watching me and I'm going
Yeah.
off and I'm getting angry at the world, what good is that doing?
Yep.
Like the
So,
world's paying attention to me? No. But my
mm.
staff is, my kids are, my families are.
And they're thinking, hey, buddy, you got to have some calm in this chaos. Yeah. Well,
Easier said than done, right? Easier said than done.
easier said than done, for sure, for sure. Well, as we close, I'd love for you to get an opportunity to share with the audience where they could go follow you and check you out and show you some love and get that book.
Yeah, no problem. So I'm on pretty much every social media feed, X, LinkedIn, Facebook, but X and LinkedIn, I'm at Glenn G. Robbins, two N's, two B's. The book itself, like I said, if you check it out by my name or just type in Common to Chaos, it'll come up on Amazon. Quick and easy to get. You can get the ebook or you can get the hard copy, and it'll be to you in 2 days. If you want a bulk order for your team, send me a quick email at Glenn at glennrobbins.com. That's simple. Check once again, Glenn at glennrobbins.com. And I can quickly hook you up with a discounted sale for bulk orders. Because like I said, it's a great piece to talk with your administrative teams, for any leadership teams or any school leader, young and or old, veteran or new, whatever it may be. And the beauty of this is too, between Danny and I, we'd be happy to help you out in any single way.
Well, again, I just want to say, um, congratulations on your journey, on the things that you're doing. Congratulations on the new book and all of the success that you've had so far. And I want to say thank you again for taking the time to hang out and be highlighted. And I wish you continued success.
Thank you, sir. It is a pleasure and an honor to be on here. And you keep being awesome for all these incredible leaders. Because from New Jersey, I'm listening to you, buddy. So keep putting it out there.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for checking out this session. We'll see you next time. God bless. Go get it.